Right, okay, we're going to try and make a Photoshop mood board. Now obviously this mood board needs to contain loads of images that are relevant to your research and your project. So with me, I've picked the issue of orcas, okay, and how they're being kept in captivity with SeaWorld. So I want to produce a nice mood board that contains lots and lots of images, everything to do with the fact that they are in captivity, and I'm now even starting to think of the ways in which I'm going to show that. So first thing we need to do is actually create a new document. To do that, we go to File, we go to New, then we get this appear, and we're going to change the preset to International Paper. A4 is absolutely fine. At the moment the width is 210 and the height is 297. That means that it's going to be portrait. If you want, you can just switch those around. So I'm going to put 210 in there and 297 in there before clicking OK. And now, as you see, have a new Untitled 1 blank page. This is a great point to start. I'm actually going to exit this because I've started one earlier. And as you've noticed, it's now called moodboard.psd, and that's because I've saved it. Okay, so as soon as you've made a new one, please go to File, Save As. You're then going to select what you're going to call it, make sure it is a .psd, and click Save. Now, I've copied 2 images in here so far, and I've also cut this one out already. Now, I found a good image with a nice white background, and all I've done is use the magic eraser to cut it out. Okay, magic eraser can be found over here, magic eraser, and you can click to get rid of that background. Now what I also have, if I switch the background off, is a cutout logo of the company. Okay, now the company logo is still quite large, so I'm going to need to put a lot of images on this page, so I'm going to need to shrink it down. So we go to our Move tool, click the auto select, click Show Transform Controls, and then I'm going to hold Shift and drag it down to shrink it. Once that's at a good size, which I quite like, double click to tell Photoshop you're finished. I'm now going to switch my orca back on, and it's quite a large one, so again I'm going to have to think about shrinking this down. Please remember that we are aiming to get quite a lot of images onto this page. Now, as and when you find them, please don't feel you have to cut every image out. Okay, here's one I've made earlier. Okay, and I have got lots and lots of images. Now I've covered this page completely. I've got logos, I've got images of the current problems, and I also have some thoughts on what I'm going to do in Photoshop. Orcas are kept in very small tanks, so I've thought about perhaps what I could put an orca into to really over-exaggerate the fact that they are kept in small spaces. So I'm thinking about perhaps using an orca and a bucket, perhaps even a bathtub, or something along those lines, even like a sardine tin down here, that I might be able to use. Now, I've collected loads of images, and I know I'm not going to use all of them, but the more you have, the more options you have. So please try to really make this page relevant to not only the species or the problems such as deforestation. Don't make it just about that. Think about how you're going to show this. Okay? Think about how you're going to show this problem and the images you could perhaps search for. One last thing I want you to take note of is that I have renamed all of my layers. To rename them, all you do is you double click and you type. When you're happy, you just click off of it. Please make sure they are named. It's going to make your life much easier when we come to doing the designs.